Whew. What's up, everybody? It's episode 90 of COMICONversation Thursday. We got a little shot of Justin there wandering around. Thought that would be fun for y'all to see. We got a lot to talk about, a lot of good subjects to go over tonight. Some good stuff for you. Very varied subjects, actually. We got some things around movie and animated stuff like the death of Superman. We're going to talk about Spidergeddon. AMC announced something pretty recently for kind of direct competition for MoviePass. So there's about 4 different ticket sort of subscription things. I want to break those down for you. And also Star Wars. We got The Walking Dead on here. And we're going to look at who gets warped. We'll talk about what that means. And of course, we'll talk about our expectations for Luke Cage season 2, which starts tomorrow. So a lot of good stuff on the way for you. It is Star Wars we're going to talk about, which of course has Darth Vader, but I do want to call out a different kind of Vader. Big Van Vader passed away this week. So unfortunately, we lost another famous wrestler, and it'll be Vader time in heaven forever. Let's go ahead and give some shout outs in the chat here. We got Iron Galactus. He was first. Scotty's here. He made it. Good. Glad you're here. Jackio is here, but also not here because he's watching the draft. Scotty forgot about the draft. We also have Take the Time Collectibles, Brian B. I do want to ask for your help, guys, in the chat, or if you're watching later, head over to Brian B's channel. The live chat feed does post up, so you can just click right on his name. Let's try to get him up to 50 subs. He's really close. Just a few more, and he's at 50 subscribers. So I want to shout that out. Stay Puff is here as well. We also have Strictly Comics, Comically Flawed, Philly Superman, and this guy named Exile State Comics is in the chat too. Nice to have you here. And I see Chris here. I see Chris join us as well. So nice to have you here. All right, so let's go ahead and give some updates. I want to hear what you guys have been doing in the past week, and I guess we will start with. We'll start with Daredevil.
Me.
Yes.
Updates of things and stuff. Did another Sunday morning comics as always. Of course, you can find that on the channel at 10. And I realized something really sad about my Jim Lee X-Men run is that I'm missing number 5.
Oh no!
How did that happen? No, I have
Omega Red, right?
No, 4 is Omega Red.
It's
5
the
second appearance. Nothing.
Yeah.
Nothing.
You're missing the second appearance of Omega Red.
That's a badass cover though too.
It is.
It is an awesome cover. Because I immediately had to go look it up. You know what I'm saying? I had to go. It's like, what am I missing? Oh, that one. So,
well, the good thing is you should be able to find it like a $1 bin or something.
yeah, it's not an expensive book, so that'll be part of my search this coming weekend.
There you go.
When I go looking for something, I'm gonna go find that. So, other than that, just some normal stuff, and yeah, haul will be up tomorrow.
Sweet. Before we kick it over to Chris, I do want to say congratulations on your W from Fanboy Fight Club. We now have two W's, 2 winners here on the panel for Fanboy Fight Club. So
Gotta check that out.
The one L quiet.
No, I've got an L also. We're at 500. It's for a show. It's like I'm 1 and 1. You know,
we got to get you on there, Edwin.
Yeah, I'd have to see how it takes place, how you guys do it.
Basically, you go in there and you just debate as best you can under a time constraint to figure out who knows more about what, who can present the best points.
Mm-hmm.
yeah. I mean, like strengths and powers is only one part of it.
So Thor beat Superman?
Oh yeah.
Thor beat Superman.
Wow.
But you want to debate the best and all the rest of it, and then hopefully bring up a little bit of knowledge that the other guy didn't, or hope that they leave the thing at 2 out so that points get knocked off.
Exactly.
There's a lot. I mean,
you try to give as much info as you can, leaving a heavy hammer at the end if you need it.
Right. Yeah. And you talk about cultural significance too, like the creators, the impact that they've had, movies. Like some characters are like really strong in the books, but kind of weak in the movies, or vice versa. So you can kind of play to your strengths and gloss over the weaknesses and hope your opponent doesn't know as much about your character as you do.
But I mean, the thing anybody who's ever done that show will tell you that as soon as you quit talking, you remember about 15 other things you were supposed to say.
That's right.
It's the hottest thing in the world. And then like what happens is that after you're done talking, not even after you're done talking, like so then TiVo and Deadpool will be like, and Darkseid will just be like, all right, so who did you give it to? And they start listing off what they like that you said, and then they come up like, but I really wanted to hear this, and you're like, oh my god, I forgot about that. Yeah, I meant to say that. Like, and nobody brought this up. Like, so
that's exactly what Justin did on Monday with Adventures in Babysitting.
Oh yeah,
he was like, yeah.
Yeah, he's like, I wanted to hear about that.
I will say though that Big E's and myself, it was probably the most cordial of the fanboy fight clubs to ever happen. Like, we were kid gloves the whole time with each other.
Excuse me, good sir. I do. No, not quite like that, but
yeah, I see a lot of kids like, hey, tell this guy to shut up so I can say, you know what I mean? I mean, mine didn't have a lot of that either, but I would just kind of like, I'll tell you right now, when you're in the moment of it, it's just like you don't start thinking. Like, there's two things that can happen that will really put you in like the nightmare zone when it comes to that. So.
Uh-oh.
All I see is like
the nightmare zone. He froze in fear.
Oh,
when you're talking, I keep freezing for some reason. I think
you froze in fear.
Yeah. So no. Well, what happens is that you're either talking and you're giving out points, and you're just sitting there, making your case, and then all of a sudden you realize it's like, yep, you got a minute and a half left. You're like, oh no. Like I literally just like I thought I was a good minute into what I was trying to say, and then the other point is like when you're like if you get long-winded about something and you're like, you're like, all right, 30 seconds. Like, oh, what? No, wait a minute, I got so much more to say. Give me it, So it's just like it's tough. It's like just really when the spotlight's on, man, it's really tough, and you can tell who has, I guess, better aptitude for public speaking right in that moment. It's just like. It's tough. It really is tough. I mean, I can talk to anybody about anything as much. I mean, you can tell I'm a talker and a half. But man, when the spotlight was on, I even choked a little bit. I was like, I just can't do this. It's not that I can't do it. It's just it's hard to like really just because all eyes are on you. It's all quiet, and it's up to you to make the best argument you can. It's just like, man, I thought I made a great argument, but guess what? I forgot these points here and all this type of stuff.
Yeah,
it's fun though. It is fun. I'll give it that.
Yeah, but kudos, win or lose, to anybody who does have the courage to get up there, because, like you said, it is different when you're in the hot seat and all eyes are on you. So, but it's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun. So, but all right, Chris, what have you been up to? Been busy, daddy duty still?
Just
yeah,
a lot of. We're going on vacation about I think 2 weeks, so it's just like. Getting that ready, and then just stuff with the baby, and then Father's Day was this weekend, which was fun. I got my haul up and everything, and was able to show off some stuff that I picked up and everything. But just kind of getting all that together, and then also just getting more information on Boston Comic-Con, which is kind of good and bad, and realizing that like it's let's see, we're less than 2 months away, so it's just like I may have to kind of curtail a little bit of my new issue and stuff like that, so I can save up some money to go get some books over there, because it's looking to be a fun time, but for now it's just kind of still details are pouring in. We're still figuring out who's going to be there for actual comics versus celebrities and movies and all the other fluff that they want to throw at us. And it's just like I'm excited, but I'm also on the fence too, because it's just like there's a lot.
Yeah,
it's all good.
A lot of celebrities. There's a lot of celebrities and things like that. And I'm sorry I keep freezing. I might just hop out and hop back in reul quick. Okay. This never happens, so I guess like it seems to happen to everybody else. So maybe it's just my turn to be like Mr.
Oh yeah.
Tag you're it.
I just hope I'm just stuck in a stupid face where I'm just like.
Yeah.
Well, you were stuck on a couple faces.
I know, but for me, it didn't. They don't.
Oh.
Speaking of faces, there's one right there.
Oh,
Don't look
man.
too hard. Or at least
I
that
hope
one I was
that's the
smiling.
thumbnail. I hope that's the thumbnail.
All right.
All right, cool. All right, Edwin, have you been in the past week or so?
I'm good. I'm really excited because I got some slabs coming from CGC, and they should be here Monday. And actually, one of Justin's books is in there too. So, got some really, really sweet grades. I'm going to actually submit a lot more books here really soon because I've been told that CGC is under a lot of pressure because they're getting so bombarded. So, I've been told to intentionally send a lot of books and fast pass them to get those grades because I honestly. There's 3 books that scored a little higher than I anticipated, and I'll do a video haul and show what those are. And then it's also going to lead to a hopefully a discussion I'd like to have about newsstand copies and direct editions because I got a few newsstand books that are coming in, and it's kind of hard to gauge the market on those type of books. But really looking forward to that. So I'll do a haul video probably Wednesday.
We can talk about those. I like newsstands myself, especially well,
dude, I've been on the
do
hunt. That's what I've been hunting for the
Yeah.
past like couple of weeks, is just newsstand books.
which like modern or
Yeah,
bronze?
just you know, just anything. Like I don't know if you saw the what was it, the first Tim Drake as Robin, what was it, the Batman the second print newsstand variant that sold for like $4,000 or something like that.
Oh yeah,
Just recently. Yeah, I was like, man, I got that book. And then I went and grabbed it and I had it, but it wasn't the second print. It was the newsstand first print.
yeah. The second print
Is
newsstand
that
was
the Arrow
like,
one?
yeah.
It's like $457 or something like that, Batman.
Yeah, no, I know the book.
We're jumping through the window.
The Arrow one.
The what?
Gotta look through my long box. Hold on.
No. Well, there's one that has an error. It's like a Invicta error, I think they call it. And so basically, what happens is that instead of it saying 457 for the numbers, it says 000. And it's just like it's one of those ones where it's a bunch of them printed with that error. So like I ended up getting one, without knowing it. Just I bought one off eBay, and then it just so happened to be that one. So that one's, I guess, more sought after than the other ones. But then again, I don't know, just because you're saying a second print of it sold for like $4,000, which is
We'll start editing at $1.
yeah.
And it was like a 9.2 or something like that. But
It was a graded one. It's not a raw one.
no, yeah, it was a great one. But I'm looking for like rare stuff because I actually heard.
I think we're all looking for rare stuff just because
No, but what I'm talking about is like my LCS come across a bunch of. Remember the X-Force number ones, the bag with the Deadpool cards and all that. Well, he come across.
That's really rare.
No, but he come across a bunch of them where the if you look on the back, it's got Captain America's face where the barcode is supposed to be, but it's inverted. Like where it's white, it's supposed to be black, and where it's black, it's supposed to be white. It was inverted, and he come across a bunch of those, and it's just stuff like that, printing errors.
Yeah, print errors, recalls. Where you really want to look for the 90s stuff is probably from about 2005 till I guess really last year when DC ended. 2010, I think it was. Was it 2010? No, it was 2015 when Marvel ended their newsstand program, and then 2017 was DC. And by the end of that, those last few years, the newsstand was really only in a couple of stores like Barnes and Noble, but it counted for maybe about 1% of the entire print run. So you look at like say an average of like 40,000 print run, 1% of that is going to be newsstand.
Yeah,
but when you go back in like the 80s and 90s, it was a much higher percentage. Yeah,
it was like
so.
You had a lot more because newsstands were more prevalent at that point.
Yeah, they came on about 1979. I think Dazzler was the first one, the first direct edition book. You're looking at about 80 to 90% of them in that time frame being newsstand, and then slowly it got less and less through the years. But yeah,
and that was the thing. Like for me, collecting GI Joe, there's a lot of there's a lot of books that I think it's like from 1 to like it's all throughout, but it's definitely like the first like 20 or so. Definitely, you have a newsstand and you have a second print. Like or like just a direct edition. So it's just a lot of times. And I didn't know that when I was first starting to collect it again. I was just like guy in the shop was like, "Hey man, like if you see this like this barcode, that's what you want to see." I'm like, "What do you mean?" And he's just like, "This is a newsstand one. You like if you see these, pick these up. Like the other ones with the Spider-Man face, like certain ones that's just the only way that they did it. But for the most part, you want this one." I was like, "Okay." So that's why I go for the newsstands on those if I can get them. But if not,
when it started, they all had the barcode, and then the direct shops would just cross out the barcode, and then they changed that over to the Spidey face.
Yeah.
But then later on, like towards the end of it, they all had the barcode. You just have to look at it. The barcode will either say direct sales or it'll be blank where the direct sales is. So on those later ones, just because there's a barcode doesn't mean it's one way or the other. You still got to look at it.
Yeah. I only speak to the ones that I know about from the 80s and stuff like that. The newer ones, I don't know. I just figured they were all direct because that's pretty much everything that I would get from the shop would be, just direct. So I was just like, oh, they're all direct. Okay, there you go.
Yeah.
So, is it, the Spawn newsstand? That one does command a pretty good price just because there weren't a lot of them. Like there was very.
It was like one of those for every 100.
Very, very little.
Regular covers.
So.
And then once you get into that, then you got to go your high grade newsstand, which is even rarer.
Yeah,
we're talking about Edwin's show right now, so
let's go ahead and get into the depth of Superman and all that stuff.
So we don't want to talk about everything you want to talk about there, but what?
I was saying it's a one spot, that black and white one.
That
one's expensive too. Like I've never even seen one up close. So But
okay, so talking about stuff that happened this week, one of the things that I thought was pretty interesting was the next Warner Brothers animated movie supposed to be, or not supposed to be, it is The Death of Superman. The official release date for it is July 24th. So about a month from now. However, it actually leaked online this week.
Oh, really?
Yesterday. Yeah, the full movie leaked. A full month in advance. So what that did was obviously give people a chance to watch it, but it also gave people a look. There's a new intro for DC, so you get to see that. That's kind of the debut of it. And then the movie is supposed to be part 1, Death of Superman. The animated part 2 is Reign of the Superman. There's a teaser trailer for that. That's all part of this leak. So you get a first look at that, really. So that's pretty cool. I haven't seen it, obviously, but definitely a couple of things there to talk about, I guess. The actual that they animated The Death of Superman and Reign of the Superman, but also the fact that it leaked a month early.
So does this mean all my Reign of Superman are going to be worth something now?
Probably not.
No, that's extremely wishful thinking.
You may move a copy, but it won't sell for any higher.
I've just said you can't get away from them things. Every time you go to a comic shop, they're always in the 25 cents at dollar bins.
Yeah.
That one's kind of crazy though. Like when I think about just the whole, because I remember the old movie that they had, which is like I think it was Death and Return of Superman. That was like years and years ago.
Yeah.
So I guess they're probably taking a darker tone, which is what they've done with the rest of them, like the Suicide Squad movie and Flashpoint and stuff like that. So it should be cool.
Well, here's the thing. I was at Half Price Books not too long ago, and I usually ask the community what they feel about a particular movie before I buy it, but for whatever reason I didn't, just because I saw it was Superman. But it was actually titled Superman Doomsday. Yeah. And I got it for like $1 or $2, and I watched it, and it was horrible. It was so bad.
Was it Hunter Prey? Was that part of the name?
No, not that. It was just called Doomsday. So the fact that you're telling me this I'm excited about, because I think DC has been doing an outstanding job lately with their animated movies. So I'm really looking forward to this.
Yeah.
Well, that Doomsday one was that's the one that they did. And it seemed like they tried to get to the fight really quick. They had the fight, and then after that, they like fast forward
Oh no.
Oh.
Fast
forward. He left off fast forward.
They sped to the end of the story real quick, and it was just like, oh, okay. But like it wasn't well paced out at all. It was pretty bad.
Yeah.
Okay, so the Superman Doomsday film was from 2007.
Yeah, it's a long time ago. It's when they were still trying to, do the cartoon universe and everything.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's probably what made it a little bit hard to watch because of the fact that you still have the cartoon show and everything like that, and they're trying to make it for kids more so than something that was like high quality as far as a movie was concerned.
Yeah. So yeah, this was supposed to be released digitally July 24th, and then as a Blu-ray or the combo packs, what they do, August 7th. So, and I wanted to actually read down the voice acting list because there's some pretty good names. You get Jerry O'Connell as Superman, Rebecca Romaine as Lois Lane, Rainn Wilson voicing Lex Luthor, Rosario Dawson, no longer night nurse, she's Wonder Woman now. Nathan
Rainn Wilson,
Fillion,
really?
yeah.
Wow.
Or what was that other movie he did? Where he's a superhero? You got Nathan Fillion as Green Lantern.
I knew it.
Yeah. Who else is here? I'm looking at the IMDb. That's the only names I recognize. Jason O'Mara is voicing Batman, so he's in it too, of course. Matt Lantner is voicing Aquaman. And it's PG-13, so there you go. About an hour and a half. Yeah.
Are we getting Booster Gold and Blue Beetle?
I don't see here full cast.
Oh, okay.
I don't see them on the. We got Martian Manhunter.
Nice.
Let's see, Silas Stone.
Yeah, because he beat that crap out of Booster Gold. He's one of the first people.
You got John Henry Irons.
Yeah, he almost killed both of them. He broke
Mm-hmm.
Mr. Gold's suit and everything too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Didn't he slam his head in a car door or something?
Something ridiculous.
Writing credits are going to Peter Tomasi on this one.
That's cool.
I like Tomasi's last run on Superman, so I'm happy with that. But I don't see Booster Gold here.
Okay.
I do see Bibbo Bobowski, if you're curious about him.
And I assume the random Superman, we're going to get Steel, Cyborg Superman, Eradicator.
Yep, Cress Williams, who does the other guy. He's doing John Henry Irons.
Nice. Yeah, I think I saw a new promo for Steel or something.
Black Lightning, I couldn't think of his name. Yeah. He's Jefferson Pierce. The guy who plays Black Lightning is voicing John Henry Irons.
That's cool.
Yeah. So, yeah, if you are the type of person who likes to watch leaked footage, go ahead and check that out. 'Cause it's out there.
Go ahead and check it out. Why don't you post a link in the chat?
I didn't look for it, to be honest with you. So I know it's out there, but then the part 2 is supposed to come out next year in 2019. So, pretty cool, right?
Yeah, that's cool. They have them stacked like that, though. It doesn't leave you hanging oh, it just ends here. Well, the next movie in the line is a Batman movie, so you got to wait 3 years.
Yeah,
that's cool. They can plan out that way.
Yeah. So the next thing, basically, we had E3 a while back, and there was really cool footage for the PlayStation 4 version for Spider-Man. I don't know if you guys play games or whatever, but that's something that I'm really looking forward to. Probably my most anticipated video game of the year. Spider-Man has a kind of a different looking suit in it. It's always to get the red and the white, but the spider is white, and there's some other white features throughout it. And then he's got different boots and stuff. So there's a what do you call it? An event coming. They're kind of just teasing it, called Spidergeddon, sort of like Spider-Verse. In fact, it's kind of a part 2 to Spider-Verse, written by Christos Gage. But what they revealed is that the Spider-Man from the game is going to debut in the book. There's a issue 0 for it. So that Spider-Man is actually crossing over as canon into the Spider-Man event. So that's pretty interesting to me, anyways. That they're bringing them over.
Yeah, I wonder if, I mean, think about it. When Spider-Verse like kicked off with Edge of Spider-Verse, that's where we got, you know, every issue we were getting a brand new character we'd never seen before. So they could do the same thing again.
Yeah, that's where we got Spider-Man Noir, I think, right?
Yep. Spider-Gwen.
Spider-Gwen, yeah.
The horror story spider guy that was a spider. And,
yeah.
And the punk rock one.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, they're doing a couple different amalgamation type things. And I would kind of consider that we're going to talk about one later on that is basically part of Infinity. Where some characters are getting warped, but we're going to talk about that later. There's some pretty cool ones. Yeah, so I like the look of that. I'm definitely looking forward to that game. And now I'm looking forward to the. I wasn't probably gonna run out and get the Spidergeddon event, but now I think I will.
At least that issue.
Yeah, at least the issue 0, exactly. Right. So the other thing we're gonna talk about, we can just kind of cruise through this stuff here. AMC yesterday, I think it was, announced that they were going to be coming out with their own program, which is basically a program to compete with MoviePass. You guys are familiar with MoviePass, right? They've been in the news a lot. Subscription thing. If anybody's not, you sign up for a monthly subscription, and you're able to watch movies. They issue you a card, and you go to the movie theater, and you just swipe the card, and it goes to your account. You've already paid via your monthly fee. $10 a month, $9.95 to be exact. It used to be you could watch one movie a day, like all the way through the month, but they changed it for new subscribers to 4 movies a month. There was a lot of like tweaking to the what do you call it? The end user agreement, and now they have where you could watch what is it? 4 movies a month, and you can't watch the same movie. The same card can't be used for the same movie, right? Yeah. There's no blackouts, which is cool. The other part is that it's for 2D movies only. So
yeah, I'm fine with that.
Right. So pretty cool, MoviePass. But a lot of theaters are like, well, shoot, how do we kind of get in on that, or what can we do for that? Cinemark has something. It's $9 a month. You get a credit for one 2D movie. There's still a bunch of upcharges and stuff. And that's
you get like 20% off all concession stands.
For concessions, right?
Which is kind of significant because, dude, concessions are expensive.
Yeah, exactly. You could go out and buy like a steak dinner for what a bag of popcorn costs. Yeah, so you get that. But if you don't use it, the good thing is that the credit actually rolls over.
Oh, yeah.
So then, like the next month, you could maybe watch 2 movies if you want. And if you want to buy tickets for other people, it waives the fees and stuff for it. So that's another benefit. So that's Cinemark. There's another one called Sinemia. Are you familiar with that one?
Nope.
Okay, so it's Sinemia with an S. Sinemia has a couple different tiers. They have what's called Moviegoer. For $15 a month, you can get 3 tickets a month. And then they have one called Entertainment. That's the second tier. It's $10 a month, and you get 2 tickets. And then they have things for like if you want to combine like 2 people into 1 ticket type of thing. Like if you want to take your wife or whatever on the same things like that. So that's Sinemia. Pretty good go between there. But then yesterday, AMC announced what's called Stubbs A-List. It launches on the 26th of June. This one is basically a direct response to some of the things that people complained about with MoviePass, right? The 2D only. You can't see the movie more than once. You have to be like physically close to the theater to be able to kind of check in and be able to see the movie. Things like that, right? So they basically said, okay, it's $20 a month. You can watch 3 movies a week. You get your concession discounts. Repeats are okay. You can order online. And also it's good for like 3D, for IMAX, the Dolby stuff, all the upcharged theater enhancements. But the downside there is it's AMC only. So you'd have to be kind of near an AMC for that. You can reserve online. So if you had to like travel or whatever, you could do that. So that's basically your 3 options for like the ticket sales clubs. and I have MoviePass, but I do have an AMC close by. So even though it's $20 a month, I may go for that because of the other conveniences that are allowed for it. So,
well, I think they got to do whatever they can to get people's butts and seats, because it's just these Marvel movies that's driving the industry, or really helping out the industry right now. And I don't care to really go see these mediocre movies, or the love comedies, stuff like that. So whatever it takes to get people in there, because my LCS owner, he actually has this, what you're talking about, and he sees a movie like at least every other day.
Wow.
Oh, crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, I understand it's good to be able to be like, all right, go to the movies whenever and check it out. But like, I mean, the way I think about $20 a month is a lot. And I'm just trying to think, like, is there a movie that I would want to watch, or is there something that's out? Because if you're in one of those periods where like just everything sucks, except for like there's one movie, all right, I saw that, and then everything else is just crap. It's just like, it makes it not worth it. But then when you come to a time, like right now, summertime, and then again closer to like holidays and stuff like that, it's definitely worth it just because there's so many good releases. But like just like that little like so I would say like early spring, and then fall, when let's say early fall, all the once summer ends and there's no blockbusters and stuff, that's when really getting hit for $20 a month, when you're probably not going to go to the movies more than once or twice in a month.
The Thanksgiving and Christmas usually has pretty good movies.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like when you look at holidays and then the summertime, it's great. It's just outside of that though, there's times where like literally like there's nothing good for at least a month or two, and it's just like, well, you pay $20 for nothing. You're not gonna go. Like, there's plenty of stuff I wouldn't see. I mean, even if it was just like, I'd try to convince them, like, do you want to go and just see any kind of movie? She'd be like, no, it's my time. So I'm like, so for me, that probably wouldn't work out so hot. Even though I think it would be one of those things where it'd be like at times, kind of like how some people will subscribe to HBO at certain points. Like there's people that are big Game of Thrones fans, or like my friend back in the day was a huge Sopranos fan. He'd subscribe to HBO for Sopranos and then just cut it right off once the season's over. So I mean, if they allow you to do that, I could see doing it.
What does a movie cost? A regular adult ticket in your area?
In
$12,
my area,
$10.
Yeah, average would be like $10-12.
I think it's about 12, to be honest with you. It depends on where you go.
Okay, so if you've seen 2 movies in a month, it's already paid for itself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
I don't know. I just think about for the time that I wouldn't use it. If you can cancel it and come back, I have no problem with that.
I don't see why I wouldn't be able to.
You never know. Some people would be like, "Yes, you're hooked. That's it."
Yeah.
I don't know. I just
Bally's Fitness.
I like the idea. I mean, just because the ability to go and see like IMAX and stuff like that is good. Because I mean, there's plenty of movies I would love to see in IMAX that are just
Oh yeah, that $20 includes them, right?
Yep, it does.
Jacks it up to almost even for one ticket.
3D, you can see 3D as well.
That's a $20 ticket on its own. So that I can take up here. Especially like if it's a new movie or something like that. It's just like for the IMAX, you're talking at least I think $21 to $23.
Yeah.
Free popcorn and everything else. So that's what it's like. Yeah, like I could have gone somewhere nice to eat and had a good meal versus going to the movies having popcorn and a Coke, and then but I mean everybody's experience is up to them. You know what I mean? So
yeah, that's why I wanted to give all the different options, and I really think that it's kind of the start, like we had with the streaming stuff. First Netflix, and then the Hulu came out, and the Amazon Prime, and all these things, and there's like a battle there. Now it looks like there's kind of like a battle shaping up with the movie theaters to attract people and get them like, on these subscription things where they'll be, pulling in more money that way. But I'm pretty sure we're going to get a couple more announcements from maybe some other theaters, like, I don't know, Regal. Actually, no, Regal's on
Showcase or some other big ones.
Yeah, there'll be some other announcements for sure about some like this. I'm guaranteed.
Yeah, but how far out are we from the actual studios just having a service to where we could just watch the movie at home?
That's what I was thinking.
I mean, how far away are we from that? We can't.
I'll tell you right now. I think that that is something that they would hold off on as long as they can, because the concessions is where they make all their money. So they need you to go to the theater. But like that popcorn that you paid $8 for, that's their bread and butter. So
I bring my concessions.
Yeah, right.
a lot of people, all it's gonna do is just lead them being like, look, do you have concessions on you? Just tell me the truth. You won't get in trouble if you don't. You know what I mean? It's just like empty the bags and like pour it all out. Like,
They
don't stand like everyone else.
They don't search you down here.
Don't you dare bring in smart food. Who do you think you are? It's just like.
Or they could just charge people $5 a person to bring in your own food.
Don't give them ideas. Don't give them ideas. I don't like that idea. I like to be able to be like, you know what? I got this M&Ms in the bag. I walk in there, my wife has the stuff. I'm free. Nothing happened to me.
They make most of their money on the concessions. Like the one I go to over here is a dine-in theater. Let me tell you, those prices are. You go in there, you know what to expect. So like you don't open up the menu and you're shocked. But
it is convenient to do that. I mean, you're two things in one. So
dinner and a movie. Do it at the same time.
Yeah.
Get the nice little.
I usually take a steak.
Yeah. Those no. But that's a big thing. Like here, like those things have been popping up like crazy. The movie taverns.
Yeah, those are cool. Yeah. I went to one of them.
They're fun, but I mean, it's just not. I don't know. It's okay. It's okay every once in a while, but that's not how I want. I don't want to go see a movie out at a restaurant all the time. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Scotty said he snuck in a pot roast with his Taco Bell.
And Taco Bell.
I've been to one up in New Hampshire. It was pretty cool. The only thing that made it kind of strange was that you're basically at a big boardroom table, and there's people just all. So it looked like we're in a business meeting, but instead American Hustle's on in front of us, and we're just kind of like.
Well, that's people. See, at mine, you get like a tray in front of you, and it's like a leather, like lazy boy type chair, and you can recline, and pretty nice.
That's what we have.
Yeah, we don't have the boardroom tables.
It was funny though.
Stadium recliners eating stuff. It's weird.
Yeah.
I mean, it might have just been that actual one theater, but it was like we went for my birthday, and it was like, like it wasn't bad. It was just kind of like this wasn't what I expected, but I mean, it was all right. Just the food, but so now the food is very expensive. Like it was like a hamburger was $18. I was like, oh my god, that'd be the best hamburger I've ever had.
Yeah.
Was it?
Gomez said he likes to hide tater tots in his cargo pocket on his pants. Like,
watch out for that dude. He'll kick your pocket.
Yeah. You know what? It's funny about us because Adam is like, every time he goes, he always falls asleep. I'm like, I could just think of him, kick back, eating a big old meal and really fall asleep. Every movie, man.
Man, that makes it an expensive nap.
Right?
Yeah, right.
Yeah. So actually talking about films, there was a report this week that said that Star Wars was putting all of the what do you call it? Star Wars story, anthology films on hold. What they said was that they decided to concentrate on the official series and kind of scale back on the development of the one-off movies.
Makes sense. I mean,
it's smart.
Finish that first, especially finish it strong, because maybe for everybody who's had issues or for things that just kind of didn't go so hot, it's probably because they spread themselves kind of thin trying to film different kinds of just a whole different, I guess, series of movies while they're trying to film their actual trilogy, and it's just like it's too much. It's too tall of an order. Like you just can't get it all done at once. So if it's going to bring us better movies, I'm all for it.
Exactly. What do you guys think? I was looking for something. Sorry.
I don't know. It's probably a good idea so they can figure out how to fix all this stuff, because I know there's obviously various opinions on why Star Wars isn't going the direction that they hoped it would. But I think that even with the backlash of The Last Jedi, I think that even if they would have waited for Solo even until Thanksgiving, I think it would have done even better than the 300 or 400 million that they're doing now. But I don't know. I mean, you're getting all kinds of voices and opinions and stuff like that. And the biggest one that I'm hearing is the Obi-Wan Kenobi, and again, if they do it right, I don't see why they would have a problem selling tickets. But I think taking a breather is a good idea.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's definitely smart and wise on their part.
Yeah, and I mean, I think it's just there's no rush. I mean, as much as they wanted to be ambitious and say every year a Star Wars movie, it's just like, pace yourself. It's not going anywhere. People want to see them. Just take your time. I mean, if you put out a bunch of garbage and people feel like they're being, just disrespected by putting their money out there, then yeah, people aren't going to care about them, and you're just going to be making movies for the fact that you promised that you would. So just pace yourself.
Yeah. But Marvel's pumping out 2 or 3 movies a year, and everybody's just eating that stuff up.
Well, that's because they're good, and they're not worried about people. Like they haven't had anything where it's just like, okay, like this was a just glorified piece of crap. Like everything has been good. I mean, some better than others, absolutely, but everything's able to just you're able to stomach what's being put out there. It's when you can't, and when you feel like you've wasted your money, that's when you have an issue. So I think for them to pump the brakes is a good idea. I think, I mean, it's similar to what I said, or to what I would say about DC too. Pump the brakes, make some good, just make some good movies, and then just go from there. You don't have to go crazy. You don't have to put out everything or try to keep up with Marvel. Just do your own thing, make sure it's good, and then you can, branch off and do whatever you want, but you got to establish yourself first. And I think that's a lot of what Star Wars. I think Star Wars went with the fact that they know who we are. They've been waiting for this. Here we go. But it's just like, but they haven't full out. They had a good step with the Force Awakens, and then stumbled with Last Jedi, and then now they're trying to like make up for it. It's just like, just take your time. Take your time.
I agree with you 100%, but I have to enter new evidence into the arena. So yesterday, ABC put out an article and said that they had Lucasfilm sources that characterized those reports as inaccurate.
Oh, no.
Instead, there are still multiple Star Wars films currently in development that have not been officially announced. Those projects, and I'm reading right now, those projects are moving forward separate from an already announced Star Wars trilogy being overseen by Last Jedi director Rian Johnson, and another series of movies from Game of Thrones producers David Benioff and D.B. Weiss. And also there was a report about, now I'm off reading, there was a report about the Obi-Wan movie having lost his director and stuff. So there's kind of a lot of speculation out there. Bottom line is, the next thing that we officially know is episode 9. So of course it makes sense that they're going to be turning their focus to that. But I think that people added the performance of Solo and kind of piled that onto that. Kind of like with, we were talking about with, what's her name? Rose Tico, with the actress. She's doing episode 9, but that doesn't mean that she never came out, as far as I haven't looked recently, and said, I've been harassed. I'm leaving social media. People just saw her leave, heard reports from an unofficial Twitter account that said she was harassed, and they ran with the story. And that's what's happening with this too.
All right. So, my thing with it, though, is the Star Wars story movies is they're hurt by the fact that everybody wants and is used to getting like a trilogy or a continuation of a story. These are one shots that have, for the most part, definitive ends that there cannot be a sequel to from what they're presenting. So a lot of people are like, I'll just wait and watch it later, because it doesn't bring them in as much as like, oh, this is starting something. This is, starting off something really cool. They're like, no, this is just a story that fits in that they're giving me while I wait for the bigger movie that's coming out next year.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
because it was supposed to be alternating with the Skywalker saga, or like the main ones, and then in between we would get like one of these anthologies. So maybe the problem was they didn't wait that year in between. Would they wait like 5 months between movies?
Or they could have played it off as and had the 3 ancillary movies, or little flashbacks or whatever, have them tie into each other so they mean something. So it means something for you to watch the next one. And it's not just, oh, well, now we're just going to character specific. So now if you don't like this one character, you're not going to go see this movie.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's kind of like random, the ones that they're picking, right? It seems
Right.
like the characters are random.
Right. Star Wars has always been, I mean, as much as it's about, you know, like the big hero or the big villain, there's like a team aspect to that whole franchise. Like you want to see everybody, but with the smaller movies, especially when you just name it like a character, it's Solo. It's a story about Han Solo. That turns a lot of people off right there. They're like, oh, but I want to see everybody else too, you know, regardless of who's in that, you know.
It would be weird calling a sequel Solo 2.
Right?
Then it's like, you're not.
Yeah.
Solo.
It makes sense.
I don't know.
It would be grammatically confusing.
Yes, exactly. So yeah, but I do. That being said, I would like to see Obi-Wan movie. Definitely. What do you call it? What's the guy's name? Boba Fett. Yeah, definitely Boba Fett. And I really want like a Yoda, like a young Yoda type of movie.
But with those movies, you could do more than one. You could leave it open depending upon where you start in the story. It's just with so far where they've chose to kind of end things, you're like, oh, okay, well, that's all we're getting with this one, you know?
Yeah. I think, can we do spoilers?
Spoil it.
Sure.
Okay. So Alden Ehrenreich is actually contracted for 2 more films.
Oh, wow.
So they could do something continuing out of Solo with like the seedy underbelly of the galaxy and like tying in, you know, the bounty hunters, the Mandalorians, Darth Maul, you know, all these other things that would tie to him as well. And I think that would be cool to do that. Like keep the focus away from whatever the Empire is at that point in time and just focus on like the criminal underworld aspect of it. And have that, like you said, have that story carry through, you know, through those movies.
Right.
Call it the Obi-Wan or call it the Boba, or call it the
Boba,
the Darth Maul, whatever you want to call it, but still have the story continue through.
Right. It could be like, you know.
Well, the thing is that
world, Kenobi, book 2, you know.
yeah, but just because somebody is contracted, it also doesn't mean that they're going to actually make film. Because I think what's his name, Andrew Garfield was still contracted to do another Amazing Spider-Man, and that's not going to happen. So he's going to get money for a film that he's not even going to shoot. Yeah. And I honestly think it's going to be the same way with Arden, whatever his name is, who played Solo. I mean, they could maybe wait for a few years and be like, okay, let's give Solo another try. But with the effects of this one, God, man, I find it hard to believe that they're going to do 2 more Solo films.
Yeah.
Or even have him in particular in a Star Wars film.
See, the tough thing is a contract's a contract, you know?
Yeah.
Either, you know, don't do the movies and you pay out to buy them out of the contract, or, you know, what do you do at that point?
Yeah, that's costly.
That's the tough part, you know, with the contract.
But it can't be
good
just
part for the actor.
Yeah, but you have to also think, you would have to think that Donald Glover is contracted too, you know, for a couple movies. I mean, I didn't see Solo. I actually am going to see it this weekend. I'm going to go into it with an open mind. I'm going to stream it. I'm going to stream it, but I'm going to watch it. But I would have to think that Donald Glover would be contracted as well.
Yeah.
So it isn't just him.
Yeah. Jackie O said, I blame Darth Maul for Solo debacle. Anything prequel related is absolute trash. Yeah, I think it confused a lot of people because Darth Maul definitely got chopped in half and fell down a chute, you know, in the prequels. The thing is with Star Wars, and I don't know if I always agree with this, but the canon and the actual story bleeds outside of the movies. So you have to read the novels and all this other stuff, which is still all canon. And a lot of times that stuff fills in, you know, like it fills in for the movies or the plot holes or whatever, which again, I don't think I agree with that. But what happened was basically he fell down there. He was chopped in half, but he was able to survive. He lost like his memory or something. He got some artificial legs. And then he basically started running up his own like group of gangsters from there. Yeah. But he survived and got like some fake legs, basically.
See, I don't get that because Emperor Palpatine, he got thrown down a shaft too, and I mean, why isn't he alive? You know, and he wouldn't even cut in half.
Got on to.
Yeah.
He went straight to the power core.
But yeah, exactly. Like he was incinerated. Like I mean, there's nothing he could do.
Yeah, he became pure energy.
Yep.
Yeah. Oh, Jack knows about him. Yeah. But yeah, no, but not knowing that you have to read all this other stuff outside of the movies, I think definitely confuses people and would be a hindrance. You know, for the casual moviegoer going to see that, they're gonna be like, "What? I don't get it. How is he there? Is that the same guy?" You know.
I don't know.
Talking about confusing, transitioning now. We talked about Walking Dead and the next season and some of the choices like Rick's gonna be gone, Maggie's gonna be gone. But we find out this week that Jon Bernthal will be actually going back to the Punisher for the next
The Walking Dead.
Yep. Shane, whether it's a flashback, a hallucination, like a clone, I don't know. But Shane, in some form or fashion, will be back for the next season. And I think that would confuse people like that because he died, right? Rick killed him, and he came back to life, and then Carl shot him, and then Carl shot him as a zombie.
Oh yeah.
So it'll just be like a flashback when Rick's dying or something.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's not enough to make me watch it.
No. And that's what they're reaching for. They're like, okay, we lost Rick, we lost Maggie, who's our draw now. Let's get the Punisher.
That's exactly what I was thinking of, is that this is just an attempt to gain viewers.
Because they've been declining for a while.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Stay pops with me. He says it'll be the Punisher, not Shane, that will come in and mow the walkers down.
He'll just kill everybody.
Pretty sweet, actually.
Like y'all lost sight of the goal.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, you guys are the ones that were saying that they got the focus off of zombies and started, focus more on the conflict between.
I mean, at the heart of the show, I mean, not to get too like whatever, but it really is about the humans and how they react with each other. You know, what does it mean to be human? Basically, how are we better or worse than the actual zombies? You know, through the actions and the deeds that are done.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But that being said, where are the zombies?
Yeah.
Because that's the true threat. And I mean, as much as they want to be like, well, we're human. I mean, and I guess, in that world, I mean, you think about it, it's just like all the people who are still alive, are able to be more cunning and really more dangerous. You have the impending threat, but I guess eventually the way that they address it is eventually you would realize how to work around the zombies because you know what to do. So people become the biggest threat to you because they can think, they can scheme, they can betray you and all that type of stuff. But I mean, it is a zombie show, like, and it should be like more focused on zombie. Like you even like the governor should be a speed bump in the road to shit. There's like 1,000 zombies out there. Like, how are we gonna go and get gas to power the generator so we don't all freeze to death this winter? That should be like the scenarios that they go through, but they just really focus so much on like, oh, this bad guy and then this bad guy and then Negan's here now. Oh my god, it's just like,
well, Jesse, tell me if this is true or not. I thought I read that aren't they preparing to make Michonne the main person now?
Was they gonna kill everybody? No, it was Daryl.
Yeah, Daryl. I know Michonne's a fan favorite, so she'll be.
She's part of Black Panther now, so
I'm sure with Rick dying or whatever is going to happen, and she's obviously one half of Rick Shown, as they say. She'll be front and center. Is that how you say it? At least for a while. But yeah, it's supposed to be Daryl kind of taking over, and he won apparently a $20 million contract to stick with.
He wanted it. Oh wow.
Won, like he
won. Oh
yeah, like they're like, please stay.
Dang.
They spun a big wheel and it landed on $20 million.
All right.
Good thing he didn't get the ride into the desert. That was,
you were actually free this year.
I have a good idea, though. I have a really good idea, and I think that all of us could agree to this. That I've seen some very, very good cosplayers as Rick, and Brian B actually pointed this out earlier. Why not just replace him with a really good cosplayer. I don't know, because
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, you be able to tell that he's different, but you can get good actors to replace people, in my opinion. That's just me, but
Have him get shot up and put bandages on his face and
something, man. I mean, I've seen some really good cosplayers that
give him a dread shield.
But cosplayers may not be actors. That's the thing. Like, just because someone looks at, it's like, all right, go out there and act, and it's just like, there's zombies over there. You know what I mean? You don't want someone's gonna be all like, just bad at it, just because like,
Ay, caramba.
like them. Yeah, exactly. Ay, Dios mío. Like, you don't want that. So it's just, I mean, and the truth of the matter is too, like, for a television show, I mean, how long do you expect a show like that to last? It's just like, it's getting to a time that it winds down. And for AMC shows, I think it's gone either 1 or 2 seasons longer than the regular AMC show. Normal AMC shows go 5 and that's it. Because for them, like, they want to end it right at that point where it's just like, we've given you a lot, you love it, and you'll revisit it at some point, but for now it's over.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I will say this though, Skybound and Image are very excited still about their IP. In October 13th to be exact, maybe a week and a half before Halloween, they are doing Walking Dead Day, October 13th. It's a Saturday. There's going to be a bunch of issues, blind bag issues. Their anniversary issues, 15th anniversary issues to be exact. So you get like the Walking Dead #1 all the way up to 171. There's a whole bunch of them in there. And they are open order, $4. You can pre-order them from your shop. Like I said, they're blind bag editions, but there's going to be covers from like, Sana Takeda, J. Scott Campbell, a bunch of like really good actors. I just said actors, artists.
Nice.
Yeah. So, maybe your shop will be doing something, being that it's close to Halloween. I think that's right around Halloween Comic Fest as well. But it sounds pretty cool, Definitely check those out if you want the info on it. I do have the issues, but just ask your shop about Walking Dead Day and the anniversary blind bag editions. They just got a solicit for it recently. And I do want to shout out Brian B, because he's the one that brought that to my attention. So props to him. And I do want to say again, for the folks who are here, he is there. It's Take the Time Collectibles, Brian B. Go ahead and click on his name. Go over to his channel and give him a sub. Let's get him up to 50 subs today if we can.
Yeah, man.
That would be cool.
Shouldn't be waiting on that. Like, Brian B's a good guy, man. Get him up.
Yep. Click all the sub button.
He's good peeps.
Yeah, Brian's a good guy. That right there, that print is courtesy of Brian B. So he's an awesome man.
Sweet. Oh, you know what? He's at 50 now. We did it, everybody.
Oh, good job.
Nice.
Good job, community. We got him to 50.
All right.
Awesome.
But he got me the G.I. Joe Special #1 from the shop. So now that was a book that I've had a hard time trying to hunt down for a good price that he gave me a good price on. So Brian's a good guy, man. Just, hook him up, give him some subs, and, he'll take care of you.
He likes tuna subs, I think, especially.
Bad
Bad
little
joke.
fishy.
Yeah. All right.
Let's get him to 100.
Yeah, let's get into it. All right, right on.
That's now.
Let's do it.
We don't go off the air until he's at 100.
I have like a full beard and a day or two.
It's like we've all lost our jobs.
Right.
Brian B is at 97. Come on, make it worth it.
If it goes too long, I'll just sit here and make accounts.
Yeah, exactly. All right. So, big thing that came out this week actually was that Disney came back with a counteroffer. So last week we were talking about Comcast offer, which was right around like $65 million, right? So they said, okay, fine, that's nice and everything, but Disney would have 5 days to be able to come back with another offer. So they did. Earlier this week, I think it was Tuesday actually, they came in at $71.3 billion. So they were at 52 and a half, just about a little less than that. Now they're at 71.3. This is cash on top of stock offer, and it's pretty significant, pretty good jump in terms of where they were, but it's high enough above where Comcast was to where it's pretty unlikely that they're going to come back. They'd have to be close to 80 billion for Fox to think it was a viable offer because of some of the other stuff on the table. But the 65 billion was going to be saddling Comcast with a hell of a lot of debt already. Yeah. So for them to come up with another 12 to 15 billion in cash on top of that is highly unlikely. I really don't see it happening. They could. I know there was some question like when this came out. Oh, they accepted. That doesn't mean it's closed. Comcast could still come back with another offer. But the other thing was one of the execs for Disney said, because we talked about it before, the potential for them to split up the business, right? So like give up Sky and things like that. But he said that they actually have an agreement in place with Fox that would preclude that. So that won't happen. So Disney will end up getting all of the company, which is good. I mean, there was a lot of redundancy with Comcast, like we talked about, in terms of the studios and the style and the type of movies they make. So I think it's all around a good win, obviously, for Disney, right? Yeah. And we get to talk about now officially, well, nearly officially, you know, what we would like to see from Fox MCU merger movies, AVX, Secret Wars, you know.
Secret Wars, you know, just the whole potential of Venom. Oh, let's put it this way: Secret Wars, you can kind of go back, predate the Venom movie, and say, got on, you know, Peter Parker. You know, you can. I mean, Galactus in the MCU, Silver Surfer in the MCU, Super Skrull. So much good stuff coming out from there.
Yeah, now they can use Super Skrull.
Exactly.
No. A real and good Doctor Doom.
Absolutely, yeah.
Like now you've got a villain that can like be your villain for
he doesn't die
several movies, you know.
One movie.
Honestly, I'm looking at it where it's just like the after credits and cameos and just all the little Easter eggs they're gonna hint towards X-Men and Fantastic Four properties. It's gonna be fun. It's really gonna you know make it fun to see some of these movies, to see you know what possible thing is coming up. You know, I mean, even if it was up something like you know you have you know just like Peter Parker goes from the Tony Stark program to be like, hey, you know, I'm going over to the Baxter building to you know kind of talk science with this other guy. I think his name is Doctor. It's like like that in itself is just like what you know.
Yeah, I think this helps more than anything. If they were thinking about doing Secret Invasion, this so awesome for it, you know.
I would love to see Secret Invasion, and then we could get also Annihilation.
Yeah,
right, with Annihilus and the Horde and all that stuff.
And then you know,
which leads into a War of Kings, and you can do your Darkhawk, and you finally can
exactly because bringing in the X-Men gives us the Shi'ar Empire.
Yep.
Yes. Yeah.
So then you can have you know a true. See, now here's the tough part. So if you have Phoenix and everything, and it's like, you know, that when you go to do a Dark Phoenix movie, if they wanted to go that way, you can actually have the true, you know, Byrne Claremont Dark Phoenix saga. Like that would be crazy. See, like, you know, Gladiator and all the rest of them. You know,
I don't know. Do they even? But since those are so recent, do they even want to remake those right away?
Probably not. I don't know. You know, that's the thing that makes me wonder. It's just like, you know, do they go ahead and reboot the X-Men? And then on top of that, does Hugh Jackman come back to be Wolverine? Because he said if he could be in an Avengers movie.
Oh, he's going to come back.
He come back as Old Man Logan.
But he'll come back and be like Ryan Reynolds will talk him into coming back.
That'd be crazy.
Now that there's Disney money behind it.
Yeah,
he'll come back at least for something.
Yeah.
Unless they find somebody that they just think is outstanding and would be a better Wolverine, you know.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I'm just
gonna have to cast people.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, my thing though is like bring him back, and have him hand the mantle over to Laura. Just have it be an older Laura now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There you go.
I mean, there's so many
That
different
girl who was already Laura. I'm cool with her continuing in that role.
Yep.
I would prefer her to be like how old she is in the books now, and not a kid.
So like drinking age.
Yeah. Because she still needs to be Wolverine, you know. She needs to go to like bars and you know she needs to be Wolverine. Because she,
I think that, like, man, it's just really exciting to hear all that, and then possibility of getting new X-Men people you haven't seen before, a proper Juggernaut. I would love to see a proper Juggernaut done.
Well, Deadpool 2 did a pretty good job.
I still haven't seen that yet. So,
well, there you go.
Yeah,
I just got some cool news here.
Breaking news, everybody.
However, it's under embargo until tomorrow morning.
Oh.
So check out Comic Booked tomorrow. There'll be an article up once the embargo is lifted. I'll make sure this is posted so you can read it. It's pretty cool.
Wow, how's that for a teaser?
Super tease. Super tease.
I just saw something awesome, and guess what? You'll find out what it is. Embargo.
Damn embargoes.
Yeah, no, but that's definitely just exciting news to be like, all right, you got this going on, and I think that for all comic book fans, and then even people who just have been enjoying the movies, it's gonna bring, I think, a better and new experience because there's gonna be so much more to look forward to. So that for me is gonna be just, like I said, the after credits and cameos and like just little hints of what's coming next is going to be crazy. So, I mean, the question is when do they all introduce them? Once they get past phase 4.
Yeah, we just get like a black screen, and then we see like an X logo appear and like a 4 logo appear. And that's it.
Yeah. Oh my god,
man.
Yeah.
Theaters will go crazy.
Oh yeah. I mean, it's gonna be like, it's just gonna be awesome to see all that at once. It's just like, I mean,
I imagine like the Marvel, the MCU, kind of like the Splash thing, and then you just see Wolverine's claws slice through it.
Yep, that would be crazy. But like stuff like that.
Somebody say it's clobbering time.
Yep.
Yeah.
Or then,
or it's Doom, motherfucker. No, he doesn't do that.
Instead of it being a galactic rainstorm, that was Galactus, or that big giant like hurricane that he was.
Oh my god!
All right.
Like, or you see Galactus eat the planet.
Yeah.
I don't know. It would but it would be an awesome time. Like they're gonna bring in the Fantastic Four. We're gonna get X-Men. Like they're saying, Jeff Johnson talking about like right, but they're talking about the X-Men 4 or Avengers 4 is gonna reset the past or whatever. Well, it would be a really cool thing to bring in Blue Marvel when they did that also.
Yeah.
That would
cool
be
character.
Yeah, that would be an awesome character to add in, and it would make
work with
sense when they
Captain Marvel up on the ship, the Alpha Flight Station.
Right, do it. I'm in.
That'd be cool too. If they brought in Sentry, that would be sick too. But I remember bring him in as they did in the comics though, where he's completely lost his memory and everything, but he was. Basically, he essentially is a Silver Age character that just completely forgot who he was, and then just the Void and all that. Like there's so much going on that is really cool. Just with it. It's just, I can't even fully think everything I'd want to see. Just I'm just, like I said, just looking forward to whatever they're willing to give us. So I feel like right now it's an embargo on what we want to see and what we know is going to happen. So
the true potential for it.
Yep.
Could you imagine how Canadians would feel if they got an Alpha Flight?
Oh yeah.
Well, there you go. You can do that now. They don't have to be. What was it? Miracles. They can be mutants now. Oh.
You might get the space station called Alpha Flight, and you might get a guy named Puck who works on that space station. But you're not going to get the team Alpha Flight.
I don't think so.
Was it guys fly by? What's this thing over here? And it just says Asteroid M on the side. Oh, Magneto.
Yeah, like a neon sign with an arrow. Asteroid M this way.
The only way you would see Alpha Flight would be if they showed up in a flashback in an X-Men movie or something where Wolverine was drinking and talking about crap that he used to do.
Well, I mean, Fox could have used Alpha Flight, you know, but they didn't. The most they did, and they actually had a little thing for it, was like the signs on top of the taxi cabs.
Mm-hmm.
It was in that movie. That just said Alpha Flight on it. That was the most they ever did with it.
Dang.
No,
A lot of people thought that maybe Puck was going to show up,
yeah.
but yeah,
Alpha, aka
yeah. So there you go, Alpha Flight. Woo.
Scotty says it would flop in Canada. Dang.
It would flop, and then I'll go, sorry. So let's give a couple shout outs. So we have to shout out our friends, Comics Frontline. Shout them out. Great show all throughout the week, actually. So definitely check out their channel. Everybody in the chat as well, thank you for being here. We're not done yet. I'm just giving shout outs. So thanks for that. Jason Smith, Jack Yo, Jeff Johnson, NY Warriors, I believe, has an auction coming up. So check them out. I see Tacoma Comics, Mr. Unknown, Stay Pop is here with us, NES, Carl is here too. Coral. And some others as well. So there's that. I do want to say, remind you that we do have the code still. So if you do want to look at the crystal clear backing boards, you can do that. And of course, the link for Amazon if you want to look up some fun stuff. A lot of stuff there. So that's it for shoutouts for now. Good. Luke Cage is tomorrow. Be looking forward to that. Yep. We also have an announcement that Nuclear Man from Superman 4 Quest for Peace will be debuting in the comics.
Was he going to have
August
a mullet?
8th. Superman #2. Thank you, Bendis, for bringing over one of the most revered villains. No, no.
Nuclear Man.
But yeah,
I
Nuclear
think
Man.
the best line is when he goes to Lex Luthor. He's like, Lex Luthor's like, I'm your father. He's like, I am your father. I was like, oh my god. Even as a little kid, I was like, this is horrible.
Yeah, that was over the top.
It was so bad.
Man, that's not a character I ever wanted to see.
Yeah.
What are his powers?
I don't know.
He's powered by nuclear fusion.
Yeah.
Or
so
if George Bush nuclear fusion.
Nuclear.
and he has kind of like Lady Deathstrike claws that kind of like pop up, and he scratched Superman and gave him a cold and made him sick for a while.
Yeah, I mean, he's just
like, his
The power of influenza.
Yeah, he's radioactive man.
basically.
Okay.
And Lois Lane had to had to help Superman get his confidence back again, and then he went out and beat the hell out of the dude, and he had this big like puffy hair. It was bad, like it was really bad. It was just like honestly, it is to the point where like I've seen that movie a lot. I know I have as a kid because I used to watch it when it would be on because I was little. But it's just like I think I did it mostly to be like
that whole movie is Superman's fault.
Yeah,
you know why?
he threw the nuke in the sun.
No, because he donated his hair to that museum.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
Way to go, Superman! You caused your own problem.
Dang it,
Mr. Unknown says nuclear farts.
Yeah. So yeah, Jim Lee probably sat down with Bendis and he was like, "Hey, Brian, thanks for coming over. Great job. We're gonna give you action and Superman. You do anything you want, any character you want.
Yeah, let's
pick the good ones." And he's like, "Let me go with Nuclear Man."
Listen, we want give him a villain he hasn't. It's something new, something fresh. I get the guy. Don't you worry.
Yeah.
Has he been in comics? Has he at least a movie adaptation?
No.
This will be his first
literally
comic appearance.
So bad they wanted to forget him. Like that movie. That movie went in and out of theaters almost instantly. Like it should have been straight to video. That's how bad it was.
Maybe Bendis has this ultimate idea. He's going to turn this character around.
Yeah.
So.
I will say I'll probably pick it up just out of curiosity.
Oh, yeah.
So there is a bit of method to this madness.
Mm-hmm.
We'll see.
Yeah.
I mean, one of the cool things I like about when it comes to nuclear is I remember reading Superman Wonder Woman, and there was I forget what it was, but there was a nuclear.
Oh yeah, they got hit by a nuke.
Yeah, and like whenever Superman gets hit by a nuke, he like turns really frail and skinny, and
Yeah, it was the same thing that happened in
Dark Knight.
or basically the same thing that happened
Oh,
to
yeah.
Kingdom Come.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I mean, there might be some potential there, but
Well, Kingdom Come Shazam wouldn't beat the hell out of him. She kept saying Shazam, Shazam, and it's like kept throwing him.
Yeah. So let me know if there's potential for these characters. So I'm going to throw a couple new ones out for you. New teaser campaign for Marvel. It's Who Gets Warped. There's all these things happening, spinning out of Infinity. Infinity, whatever it is, Infinity
Countdown.
War is the new one. Yeah.
Yeah.
Bunch of one shots. They're probably actually in Infinity War 3 going to be debuting, and then after that, getting a bunch of one shots. These characters are Infinity Warped, let's say. So you have Arachnite, who's a combination of Spider-Man and Moon Knight,
Yeah, I saw that.
right?
Yep.
Iron Hammer, who's Iron Man and Thor,
Yeah, I don't
which is Al Ewing. I'm skipping that. Justin knows what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Ghost Panther, cool name. And that's Ghost Rider and Black Panther combined, which sounds cool.
Mm-hmm.
Weapon Hex, which is X-23 and Scarlet Witch
I'll check
combined.
that one out.
Yeah. And then Captain America and Doctor Strange are blending to make Soldier Supreme.
That sounds a little weird. I don't know if I like that.
The art for that one looked weird because it's just like Captain America, but he's wearing like Doctor Strange's robes.
Yeah,
because he's
like you're right in his closet.
Still got the cowl on and everything. So
like he crashed at his house and needed something to wear the next day.
Right. I don't know. I mean, these are fun. These are along the same lines as like the Amalgam universe and stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, it's something that seems pretty fun. We know, of course, none of it's going to last or anything like that, but
yeah,
it could be cool stories,
Yeah. The one that
I'm glad they're one shots.
I think Arachnite looks like it could be pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yes, that one did look sick. Spider-Man and Moon Knight, yeah, dude.
Yeah.
I honestly thought that it was just like some artist just messing around, like, I'm just gonna throw these characters together and come up with something new. And then I was like,
that's probably where they found it. It was like somebody on DeviantArt, and they're like, "Ooh, let's do that."
yeah,
Right. There's a lot of those actually, like different ones. They're pretty cool.
Yeah.
So I guess they're like, okay, we're done with Venomized. What can we do next? And the thing is, like with the creators, because it's all owned by Marvel, they love these ideas because they don't have to make new characters and then suddenly not own them. They just blend these other characters that are already made and they're good to go. They're happy with that.
Right.
So yeah. So I guess like Venomverse, Venomized, all this stuff, like, variations of characters or blending of characters.
Yep.
They're all about it. So I think the ones I'm definitely going to check out, like most excited about, I guess, are, like you said, Arachnite and Weapon Hex.
Yeah.
Sounds really cool.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
Be checking those out.
That I wonder, because that one seems cool on the scale that, like, all right, so you have Laura Kinney, who's supposed to kind of be rational, but she's not rational, man. She's big, So I just wonder what it would be like to give Laura Kinney that kind of power, over magic and stuff like that. Like that's gonna be, it's something that's definitely interesting. Like just because it's just, does she have more of a calmer Scarlet Witch side, or when she goes berserk? I mean, because you saw what happened when Scarlet Witch lost her shit. Then it's just like, okay, so now picture that with Laura Kinney's, berserker behind it. It's just like she might just wipe out the whole universe just to, and then bring it back. Like, I'm coming back to my sentence. I'm good.
Yeah.
But like everybody whose last name starts with a T is just.
Yeah. No. No more whatever she doesn't like at that moment.
Exactly.
Yeah. Spidey fan said 4 more minutes until eBay coupon expires. He's like, phew, redeemed in time. So good job. Hope you got something good. All right, so I'm going to run through a couple really quick, just like subject lines, just things I wanted to mention, but we don't have to dive deep into them because before we go, we definitely wanted to talk about a little wedding that happened this week, and I think Justin will fill us in on what happened with that. So here we go, 2 minutes, really quick. Robert Kirkman's Invincible was greenlit as an animated series for Amazon. So that'll be coming up pretty soon. Bad Words writer Andy Dodge was tapped to write a brand new Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie. So you're getting some more TMNT on the screen. That'll be part of the Hasbro thing. Cate Shortland's on the shortlist for movie directors, writing and directing Black Widow. MTV is reviving some of the much-loved shows that I used to watch in the 90s, one of which is Daria. That'll be animated. But they're doing a live-action remake of Aeon Flux. Which would be pretty cool. As we all know, Marvel had the rights for Stephen King's The Dark Tower. But Simon & Schuster has an imprint called Gallery 13, and they have recently acquired the rights, and they will be going forward making the comic book adaptations. They'll be redoing the stuff. So there you go. And then a lot of people did like the Marvel Core subscription box. I don't know if you guys were signed up for it or not. It was canceled, but it's back, and now it's through Amazon. So you can actually order it through Amazon again. And that's what I wanted to say. I'm going to kick it over to you, Justin, to tell us about X-Men Gold number 30. What'd you think of it?
X-Men Gold number 30. It's a thick book. It feels thick for as much story as we actually get. It wasn't bad in any way, shape, or form. It wasn't a bad story, but it is a complete and utter total just wedding issue. Like, we go from the night before through the end of the wedding reception. That's the entire issue is all that. There's no villains that come in and crash the party or anything. Which I was waiting for something to happen, and it didn't. Yeah. The only thing we get is Ileana and Kitty have a nice little conversation out on the roof.
Yep.
And then we get to the wedding, and I mean, do you want me to spoil it?
Sure.
We kind of have to tell you how it switches over. All right. So,
wait, spoiler alert.
Spoiler alert.
There you go. Yeah.
Yeah.
There you go.
This is your warning if you want to read it. Yeah. I would recommend, like, you taking a look, especially if you're an X-Men fan. The actual dialogue that you get between some of these characters, especially people at receptions and stuff like that, is pretty cool. There's a really cool part with young Jean and young Scott sitting there talking about, like, so we were married here in the past, but our future. So it's like they're both like, this is never going to be not weird, So fun stuff like that. But okay, so we get to the wedding itself, and as they're exchanging rings, Kitty phases and then bolts out of the place. She's not having it. She's done. So Kitty is the one that actually runs out on the wedding, which was surprising, but realistically, it's Ileana. Ileana kind of talked to her about, like, the night before, saying if you were going to get married, it would have happened a long time before now. Yeah. So maybe it's not supposed to happen. But go ahead.
She's basically like the manifest. So her inner voice, her inner doubts, she's basically like the physical embodiment of it at that moment. Like, so, and on top of that too, they were drinking. So it was just like,
it was truth serum.
Yeah. So True Serum came out, and Ileana kind of spilled the beans to her and, like, just put it reality in its place. And, Kitty had to react to it at some way, shape, or form, either go through with it or not. And she chose to bounce.
Right. But later on, her and Peter actually do get together and kind of resolve what's going on, at least to some extent. But the bigger part is back in the reception, Storm sitting around the table with Gambit and some other people, just talking about love, and it makes Gambit realize
what is love?
Exactly. He hears the song, he gets rickrolled or something. I don't know. It's crazy.
Yep.
But instantly he proposes. She says yes, and they get married. So if you've been, like I said, if you've been reading Astonishing X-Men, you can kind of see what's led up to this, as they've spent a lot of time together in the Mindscape and stuff like that. Right. So it's not a surprise from that. But I thought it was done really well, and it was a good surprise, Yeah.
Well, the funny thing is I remember, and some of the other stuff, like earlier, like, 90s, 2000s, that, like, kind of era, they had gone ahead, and it was always so Gambit and Rogue were love interests, kind of on again, off again, but she, for whatever reason, had a very strong connection with Magneto, and ended up, that ended up being the way that they went with it. So I'm glad that they kind of have those two coming together finally. Remy and Rogue, just because it's one of those things which is like they felt like they always belonged together, even though they had the ups and downs. Like that was the true couple right there. Not Magneto just was. It was weird because it's like he's so much older than you.
Wasn't there some type of like mind control going on there or something?
I don't quite remember
if it was like completely like her free will.
I don't know, because I know when the clone came and it was Joseph, she was all about Joseph.
Oh yeah.
And it was just like, but the thing was, and Gambit, I mean, yeah, he probably burned a bridge or two, but I mean, I think that it's probably best to have them two together, just because I mean that's like the most natural feel, and for those characters is to be together. At least when I thought, the way I read the comic, those two belong together. Magneto just like her, like I mean, I would have to say at least like old enough to be her dad. I mean, maybe even older than that, and so it was weird to see them like, oh, here's my husband. Like, how? He's got white hair. Like you're young. Like, how do you?
That reminds me of Slade Wilson Deathstroke with the Titans run.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Him and Terra.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that was not a good look for him.
Well, I mean, but if that's how you want to start off, like Kitty and Colossus, she was 14.
Yeah,
he was.
That wasn't a good look for him either. Like that was. You think about it, it's like, wait a minute.
Whoops.
What are you doing, buddy?
Whoops. Yep. Yeah, I mean, it goes into it. The art was pretty good throughout. I mean, for the book that it was, there wasn't a lot of action, so it worked pretty well. It was good if you've been reading it. Also, I thought it was kind of funny they did the wedding issue in 30 because X-Men 30 was the Jean and Cyclops wedding.
That's right.
Oh yeah,
I remember that cover. Great.
I remember for some reason that day when I went to the shop to get that issue. I remember the store,
It's a vivid memory, right?
For some reason, it wasn't like impactful, like in terms of the actual issue. But for some reason, I just remember. I went to this shop. It was a pretty clean shop. They had like kind of redone it, and then later on, I went back to the town, and I saw it was a pizza place. But I don't know why I remember that day when I went to get that.
I am disappointed though because we didn't get the X-Men playing baseball in this one, and we did in the other one.
Yeah.
So
they're always classic.
Yeah, I was kind of waiting on like that type of
just kind of light moment,
or like a page or something of them, like the day of, like that morning, they're all like playing baseball or something. Yeah. Who knows?
I like the issues with the Avengers when they would go like in their full like battle armor, like play.
Yeah.
Like, you know what?
In the Astrodome or something.
So this is something that I came across today. I don't know if you guys know or not. But what I had seen is that, so for people who are fans of X-Men Blue and Gold, it's going to end in September.
Yep.
So I mean, for the people who like those series, it is almost coming to a close. So that's kind of a somber thing to have it come out like that. But I'm sure they're going to have something to replace it. Maybe something more along the lines of with the merger, taking things in new.
Well, my shop owner and I were actually talking about this. It's his kind of hope would be that we're going to get an Uncanny title back. X-Men Red is going to either stay or switch over to just X-Men. So we'll be back to 90s. Yeah, exactly.
Right? Yeah.
Well,
I'd be cool with that.
I wonder if it's something more like with Wolverine coming back, like once he's back in the continuity, then relaunch the books and have the actual like mainstays of the team back together.
Yeah.
Never know. I could be wrong, but
right. I'm still waiting on my X-Men plaid, which would be an all Scottish and Irish team.
So it'd be was it Sean Cassidy?
It'd be
Banshee. Yeah.
What's her name?
Moira. She could be on the
Moira McTaggart.
That's funny.
I want X-Men Black, like a Spec Ops team.
Wouldn't that? I mean, but wouldn't that wouldn't that Uncanny X-Force?
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah. No, but that was that was Remender, right? Didn't Rick Remender read that one? Write that one? I can't remember. It was good though. It was really good.
Should be X-Men Green, just a bunch of X-Men financial experts.
Are there environmentalists? They save trees.
Right?
That'd be funny.
Yeah. Hey, wasn't Wolfsbane Scottish?
Yeah,
Yeah.
she would be on the team. So would Siren.
Hmm.
They at least have 3 people on that team.
No, I'm pretty sure I'll come up with some more. I'll have a full team by next week. X-Men Plaid. Next week I'll have my full roster of X-Men Plaid.
Well,
And
if,
they're all like,
if they can perform Tom Cassidy, then put him on the team.
Is there an X-Men named Shillelagh?
Shillelagh. Shillelagh. That's funny.
I'm in for
Legion.
that. Okay.
Legion is Australian, but he was raised in Scotland.
Oh well, he's in.
Yep, he made the team. Apparently Namor has Scottish heritage. Huh?
How is that?
I don't know. Let me see here.
Can't go wrong with having the first mutant. Right?
Namor, yeah. There you go. Now we're batting on.
Yeah.
It says, with a surname like Mackenzie, you would assume that he has Scottish heritage. I don't know where they get that from.
You know what happens when we assume.
That's right. Alistair Stewart.
X-Men Poop Brown, written by Colin.
There's a guy named Bible John who's Scottish.
Awesome. That he sounds fun.
He's so in. He is so in.
I really like Shillelagh. I want to see that happen. Like, that's gonna be the new character, and then that's the part of the team.
Okay. You have to really enunciate when you say this name, because his name is the Aberdeen Angus.
Oh god, Aberdeen.
You have to make sure you get the G in there.
So he's just like a bull.
Yeah, he's a bull with a like wearing a tartan. Like,
Something like that. They had to take it. Like, can I talk to you about some name changes? Can I be something different than this? Like, you know.
Oh my gosh.
Oh yeah, Angus, Aberdeen Angus. There we go.
So, yeah.
The thing is, people drop the G, and I get all types of make fun. I don't like it.
Like, dude, stop calling me that. It's not funny.
Sounds like the name of a ranch, not a superhero.
Exactly. Who comes up with these things?
Oh,
Good Lord. That might have been Jon Byrne. All right. So, with all of that being said, would you recommend folks pick up the issue? It was about $4.99, right?
Yeah, it was a $4.99 book. I don't know. If you've been on the ride with X-Men Gold, yes. If you're not, it doesn't matter. If you like the idea of Rogue and Gambit being married, there's a new book coming out, Mr. and Mrs. X. It's like a 3-issue miniseries. We got some J. Scott Campbell variants for that coming out. So that may be something you want to jump on if you like this story. They also just had the Rogue and Gambit miniseries. So there's that too, if you're a fan of this thing. But as far as like X-Men and where it's taking the X-Men, no, you don't need it.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. That are they waiting a while to do that? Rogue and Gambit.
What?
The Rogue and Gambit book.
The new one?
Yeah, because it's weird. Because like obviously it was classified. I don't think they wanted to announce it. But usually you have to. There's like a certain time frame with final order cutoffs and stuff to be able to get the book shipped out.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I just was wondering what the time frame is on the.
This new series begins in July.
Huh. Interesting.
I don't know, Brian.
Usually, you have to order, 2 months in advance. Things like that. So
But didn't they have classified on the order form?
they must have. Yeah.
They had to.
I mean,
Blind ordering. Gotta love it.
like I said, Brian's he had to step out, otherwise we could ask him. But.
Yeah. Cool. All right. So, Edwin, you with us?
Yeah, I'm here. I'm just listening.
Freestyle Friday tomorrow? Is it
Actually, no Freestyle Friday
No?
tomorrow. I got some pressing I got to really get caught up on. So,
on?
yeah.
All right. That's cool. We understand.
But you're having your thing Saturday, right?
Yes. So Saturday at 5:30 we do it? Is that right? 5:30 Eastern. It will be the second issue of Super Talk. It's our freestyle open mic, open to everybody show. No format. Just come on and chat about comics. It'll be fun. That'll be at 5:30. What I'll do is pop up the link. We'll go live, and then I'll put the invite link into the description as well as the live chat. And then if you're with us and you want to join us, you're welcome to. You don't need necessarily a camera, but obviously you would need a microphone if you want to say words to us. And that's pretty much it, you know?
Yep.
No rules, no format. We love it. Good thing. That'll be Tuesday. I'm just kidding. That's Saturday. And then the day after that, we have Sunday morning comics, don't we?
That's right. Sunday morning, 10 o'clock. Be there. What are we going to talk about this week? Who knows? Come find out.
Teasers. We love teasers. And then, Chris, you got some unboxings coming up, don't you?
Yeah, I did get one of my top 10 books. Actually came in today, so I will go ahead and do that.
A top 10.
Yeah, as well as just my weekly haul and everything. So stay tuned for that. And pretty much, like I said, the channel's gonna be a little bit, kind of, it should be consistent, but we'll see what happens. Like heading towards my vacation, there will be, so basically the week of the 4th there won't be anything because I'm not gonna be here. I'm gonna be away. So I'll be making a video next week, and then that'll be it for a week, and then 1 week break, come back, and then so for that show, if you guys do it, you have to find somebody to hop in for me. It's fine by me. Maybe Adam can hop on and take on a spot on the panel again, or you could surprise me with a mystery guest because I'll definitely be checking it out from my vacation. Like I'll watch it on the rewind, but initially I won't be on. So
Jess is gonna have Stan Lee.
Hey,
Yeah.
all right.
That's right.
That would be bad. Also, just like, so Chris, you don't need to come back. We got another guy.
He's 95, but he did all right. He did all right.
95, but man, does he have some stories.
Chris comes back the next week. Hey guys, I haven't got the link yet. Where's the link?
Our friend, our friend J Scott has it. Don't worry about it. Oh,
see you in the comments, buddy.
We call him Jeffrey now.
Don't worry, you can still moderate.
Yeah, you still got your blue wrench. Don't be sad. All right, cool.
That'd be
cool. We wouldn't do that. So yeah, like I said, Saturday is the show here, but I want to give a shout out to everybody that was with us here in the live chat. Thank you. And we always say, can't do it without y'all. You are as much a part of the show as we are. So thank you for your comments, questions, corrections, because God knows we make mistakes. And if you're watching this later, go ahead and drop us a comment. We would always love to hear that, what you thought of the show. And if you are streaming us, iTunes, SoundCloud, Podbean, you name it, we appreciate you as well. So thanks for being a part of this big old family we got going on. And that is pretty much it, folks. That is episode 90. We'll be back next week for another show. And just remember, it is always Vader time. Have a good night.